This fort was built in 1660 by Louis XIV. Welcome back, we're in Marseille, France, and we were checking out Fort St. John. This fort was built in 1660 by Louis XIV, and according to the tourism websites, it was not built to keep out invaders, but to squelch the rebellion that was happening. So this fort has been standing here for many, many years. Another fun fact is that this fort was built on top of the ruins of a 13th century fort, which was occupied by the Knights Hospitaller of St. John of Jerusalem. In the 1940s, it was actually used by the French until it was actually taken over during World War II by the Germans for a little while. So let's check it out. As you approach the fort, there are some beautiful views with plenty of things to see, plenty of shops. If you're walking like we were, it's an opportunity to see a few things. We didn't have time to take this little ride, but it looked like a lot of fun, and perhaps next time we're in town. But the fort is just down at the end of the street. This downstairs courtyard was a lot of fun for us. We enjoyed that they had some artwork and some informational signs, especially the scale model of the fort itself, complete with information about where to find coffee shops and bookstores and things of that nature as well. This was one of the locations where we landed during our cruise, so we only stopped here for a short amount of time. We went downtown, saw some things, and then came here to the fort. So this was kind of a quick tour, but at least you get to see some of the highlights. We have a ticket office over here on the side, and then you can head back out to the courtyard and you'll be able to see some of the informational plaques scattered around, and you'll also be able to see some of the old walls over on the far side there. This fountain was a lot of fun. We stopped here to relax and to check it out for a few minutes, and then we continued on from there. As we looked around, we could see a lot of the damage that had been done throughout the years, and how there used to be a lot more of this fort than there currently is left. A good portion was lost during World War II whenever it was used for ammunition storage. There were also some signs talking about the museum. One thing we noticed is that this museum isn't just a museum full of facts, it also welcomes groups and scholars to come and to share ideas. We took a quick look at the far wall here and the material that was used. Then we headed back over to the side so that we could go up the stairs and check out the second level of this complex. And as we were going up the stairs, we noticed that the right side looked a lot like a ramp, although they didn't actually do it. The kids sure wanted to slide down. There may have been more on the bottom level to see, but once we got up to the top, there was plenty. They did have some informational signs talking about the fort itself, and then telling you which direction to go in order to see some of the important features of this fort. To the left there is a gift shop. Unfortunately, we didn't have time to go inside. We really wanted to. Ooh, there's a view. But we were more interested in the view by the time we got up here to the top. One thing we discovered along the way is that aside from these beautiful views, this fort is actually linked to the Museum of Civilizations of Europe and the Mediterranean. The museum's housed in this very interesting looking building. This metal framework around the entire building does provide some shade and some fun places for children to explore and adults alike. But also, if you walk to the edge where the glass railing is and you look down, you'll see a catwalk, and those who would like to can head down and walk on that as well. It's got some beautiful views. There is also a cafe located over here in this section, and they've got plenty of seating under the shaded areas. The building was very unique, so it was a lot of fun to explore. As we were leaving the museum and head back to the fort, there were some beautiful views for the back side of the museum, so we're glad we got to see those. And then over to the right hand side as you're walking back is actually where Chateau d'If is located. We were going to take a ferry over, but they were closed on this day. The Chateau d'If is from the Count of Monte Cristo. As we left the fort, we went across a bridge to the historic section. They had a beautiful church over there. They had a lot of historic signs as well. St. Laurent Church is one of the first things you'll see, and it was built in the 12th century. Unfortunately, the facade was cut a little bit during the building of Fort St. John. There were numerous other things for us to see along the way while we were walking, not just the signs for the fort and for the church, but also there were some statues. there was this little thing which looks like at one time it was a functioning fountain with two what appear to be fish in the center of it. And we also came across this Holocaust memorial. Walking down the street, came across this Holocaust memorial. You have that behind me, a giant plaque on the ground here commemorating so that the citizens of the city and of course everyone who visits won't forget what happened. Thanks again for watching. Please check out my books at www.amazon.com/author/David H. Troyer. Check out my work on Kindle Vella. Have a great day. Remember that Jesus loves you, and we hope to see you in our travels. So what do you think of the Christmas market here in France? Alright, so each of you try one. Carefully, don't drop it please. Do you like the sugary?